Chariot, Kyungye. Hi everyone, welcome back to Taekwondo Thursday. Over the next few episodes, I'm going to be covering the Training Secrets of Taekwondo. These are 9 training principles that General Choi left for us to make sure that we are training in the correct methods. Let's talk about number 1, the theory of power. Now I covered that last week, so that's that covered already. We'll move on to number 2, which is fairly straightforward. Number 2 is to understand the purpose and method of each movement clearly. Now this is essential. Each one of these principles is essential really. But there's no point in doing movements if you don't actually understand A, why you're doing it, and B, how to do it properly. The key for you to understand both of these is to ask your instructor. Ask why, ask how. Ask why again, ask how again. If you're still not sure, ask why again and how. And keep asking why and how until you actually fully understand. So understand the purpose and method of each movement clearly. That's number 2. Number 3, to bring the action of the eyes, hands, feet, breath into a single coordinated action. I would say this is one of the most important training secrets. What does it actually mean though? To bring the action of the eyes, hands, feet, breath into a single coordinated action. To simplify that, it means finish everything at the same time. Finish your hands, your feet, your breath, any movement of the head. Everything has to finish together. It doesn't mean everything starts together, because that's not always the case, but everything should finish together. So if we look at something like as simple as a walking stance punch, what students sometimes do is they step, they finish the stance, and then the punch comes later. And that's something to be avoided at all costs. We often see this in Dan Gun as well. The first move in the Dan Gun, the L stance is formed first, and then the knife and guarding block comes later. So if you start videoing yourself, particularly with slow motion, then you will actually start catching yourself out on these things. So emphasizing that everything finishes together. Remember, the arms will always move faster because we need the acceleration component in the techniques. So here, we have to accelerate so everything finishes together. Stepping forward, backward, left, right, it doesn't matter. If you don't finish everything together, then you do lose an awful lot of the energy of the technique. Energy that you need to make the technique effective. Okay, so training secret number 1, theory of power. Go back to last week's episode to see that covered in detail. It's about 20 minutes long. It's a really long video. Number 2, understand the purpose and method of each movement clearly. You need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Number 3, finish your techniques. Hands, feet, breath, eyes, all finishing at the same time. That's it for this week. We'll move on to training secret number 4 next week. Chariot, Kyungye.